as I told you, I started off as a strategic consultant when I went into consulting. And even before that, I was a diplomat, and I mainly worked with government people. And some of them told me, Gabor, this culture thing is very interesting. I would love to read a book about it, but it's a little bit airy-fairy for the kind of thing that we do. You know, we deal with multi-million investments. We are dealing with laws. We are dealing with infrastructure development. Where does culture come in? Where would culture come into this? And please remember that anything from the infrastructure to the legal system is an expression of what a society thinks about itself. So if you look at infrastructure development in Japan, in China, and you compare it with infrastructure development, let's say in Austria or the Baltic states, a big question is, how much should we respect nature? How dense do we want our cities to be? How quickly, how urgent the things are to send to another city or to get to another city? And different cultures give different answers to these questions. And that's why the laws themselves are cultural. For example, if you are a foreigner and you do business in a foreign country, are you supposed to seamlessly blend into that societal structure? Or are you supposed to be an outsider who's quite welcome as long as you generate value in that society? If you look at the legal status of business itself, why do we do business? Do we do business as a kind of necessary evil, although the goal of life in that society is taking care of each other, or being religious, being spiritual, or looking after nature? And business is something that can contribute to it. Or is business the goal, and spirituality and nature and everything else are the resources that can help business? And this is codified in laws when there are clashes between different values. Culture in finance. How tight do we want the rules to be? How tightly do we want to follow the rules? How much flexibility there is if you don't pay your taxes on time? Or if you hire somebody and let's say you want to hire your cousin, is there a law that says you cannot just walk over to your cousin and hire him? You have to, let's say, do an open bidding. Compliance and crime. Where does being smart end and criminal behavior begin? Who can help you? Who is supposed to help you when somebody accuses you of a crime or there is a suspicion? Culture in marketing is very interesting because, first of all, who are your customers? We are going to talk about it specifically in Southeast Asia. If the more diversity there is, the bigger the question is. So let's say in a country like Estonia, I mean, it's not so many people, just like Hungary. I am Hungarian. And it's not such a diverse society anyway. So you can address people en masse with your message. Whereas in a very diverse society, you have to figure out who do you want to address? Older people or younger people? Rich people or poor people? People in the countryside or people in the capital? Because you have to use a completely different tone of voice with different strata of society. And then finally, all right, you figure this all out and you set up a team. And this is our focus today. So first of all, you start a company and let's say you are the boss. So what does it mean? When you have a problem, when you have a dilemma, do you gather your team around you and ask them what they would do? Or do you figure it out and tell them what to do? And when you have delegated, the big question is, what are those people to each other? Are they a family? Are they like a band of brothers in an army? Are they experts connected by an organizational chart? So all of this is culture. And this is what makes culture so fascinating. We dealt and we will deal with Erin Meyer's culture map, which is a system that places mainstream cultures. So the mainstream culture, the typical culture of Brazil, Mexico, Sweden, Germany, and so on, into a personality system. And with that, we can measure two things. One of them is the level, the intensity of culture shock when we do business between cultures. That's why I say rubber band. So the farther two countries are from each other, the bigger the culture shock, forgetting about the experience and the personality of the business people in charge. Of course, if they have experience or if they have a personality that matches one of the cultures, then it becomes easier.